Welcome to Histosleep, a place where every gentle sound guides you toward peace, and every moment helps you drift into deep, restful sleep. I'm so glad you've joined me tonight. Dear listener, good evening. Take a moment to settle in and feel the surroundings gently soften around you. Let your shoulders loosen. Let your breath fall into a slower rhythm. You are safe here, wrapped in quiet, wrapped in softness, wrapped in a night meant only for rest. As you breathe in, imagine a mild breeze brushing across your cheeks. As you breathe out, picture the faint shimmer of mist rolling over a peaceful landscape. Let the air around you feel a little cooler, like the hush that settles in just before a gentle rain. You might imagine the leaves of distant trees rustling in a way that almost sounds like nature, whispering a lullaby just for you. This moment belongs to you. This moment is for calm. This moment is for drifting. Let the sound of my voice move slowly, like a soft stream winding its way through the quiet hours of the evening. You don't need to try to sleep, just listen. If sleep wants to find you, it will. All you have to do is rest in this gentle space. Now, dear listener, as your breath becomes a little heavier and your thoughts a little lighter, feel yourself sinking deeper into comfort. Allow the bed or couch beneath you to hold your weight. Imagine the world dimming to a warm, safe glow, as if the universe has drawn a thick blanket across the sky just to help you unwind. When you are ready, let your mind wander with me. Our story today begins on a soft and rainy evening, tucked inside a cozy campervan, making its careful way through the Scottish Highlands. The engine hums like a familiar lullaby. The windows fog slightly at the edges, and beyond the glass, the highlands stretch out like an ancient dream, filled with drifting clouds, mossy hills, and the muted colors of dusk. The rain is steady but gentle. It taps on the roof in small, delicate patterns. Every drop seems to fall with intention. Every sound is a reminder of how peaceful the world can be when everything slows down. In this campervan, the air is warm and faintly scented with brewed tea. A soft blanket rests over your lap. The overhead lights are dim, casting a quiet golden glow across the little space. The road ahead curves gently through valleys, shaped by centuries of wind and water. Everything is calm. Everything is soft. Everything is easy. As the campervan rolls forward, the windshield wipers move with a slow, steady rhythm, back and forth, back and forth. A hypnotic motion, a soothing metronome for the drifting mind. Outside, droplets gather and slide down the glass, racing each other in tiny, winding paths. Sometimes two droplets join into one, gliding together toward the edge of the window as if they were always meant to meet. The highlands greet you like an old friend. The slopes rise and fall with the grace of a quiet tide. Some are covered in deep green brush, others in heather that glows faintly violet even under muted gray skies. Here and there, rocky outcrops peek through, worn smooth by centuries of rain. A few hardy sheep, the hillsides, their wool dampened into soft shapes. They graze without a care in the world. You breathe in and imagine the earthy scent of rain on stone. You breathe out and imagine watching the distant mist swirl and drift along the ridgelines. The world is simple here, slow here, gentle here. Inside the camper, you shift slightly under your blanket and feel the perfectly cozy weight of it pressing lightly against your legs. The cushion beneath you feels softer with every breath. There is a small kettle in the kitchenette behind you. It rattles in the tiniest way whenever the van hits a subtle dip in the road, creating a faint, comforting clink. Everything is a lullaby. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder where in the world you are listening from right now. If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. As the campervan travels deeper into the highlands, the landscape begins to shift, growing even more serene. Patches of fog move across the road like drifting silk. The headlights cut gentle beams through the mist, illuminating tiny floating droplets. The light makes them sparkle just for a moment before they fade into the quiet again. You imagine the gentle sway of the van as it rounds a curve in the road, left, then right, with no rush at all. Every movement is slow and smooth. The engine hums under your feet, steady and warm. The rain's song grows softer as the storm shifts into a light drizzle. Somewhere far off, you hear the faint call of a night bird. Its voice is mellow and slow, echoing across the moors like a lullaby meant for travelers. You imagine the bird perched on a mossy branch, feathers fluffed against the cool air, watching the little campervan with calm curiosity as it rolls past. Inside, you take a slow breath and feel your chest rise like a gentle wave, then fall like a quiet tide. The rhythm is natural. It feels like the highlands themselves are breathing with you, the whole landscape rising and falling in peaceful harmony. You picture a small wooden shelf above the bed in the camper. On it rests a book of Scottish folk tales, its cover soft with age. The edges of the pages are slightly wavy from years of damp weather and warm hands turning them slowly. Maybe later, when the van parks for the night, you'll reach for it and let old stories cradle you into sleep. Stories of ancient lochs, wandering spirits, pipers who played for the moon, and gentle giants carved from rock and legend. But for now, you simply ride, listening, breathing, drifting. The road winds between tall hills, their silhouettes rising like peaceful guardians on either side. In the fading light, the edges of the world blur in the sweetest way. Soft shapes, soft shadows, soft colors. Everything feels like the beginning of a dream you can step into whenever you wish. Take one more slow breath. Let the highlands hold you. Let the rain sing to you. Let the quiet wrap you in its arms. The rain begins to change again, dear listener, becoming a softer, mistier drizzle. It is the kind of rain that feels almost weightless, the kind that seems to hover in the air rather than fall. The droplets are so small and gentle that they land like tiny whispers on the roof of the campervan. You can nearly imagine the sound as a faint shiver of silver brushing lightly across the metal above you. Inside the van, the air remains warm. A small heater hums in the corner, filling the space with a quiet, soothing vibration. It blends seamlessly with the purr of the engine, creating a layered harmony that feels like the heartbeat of this little traveling home. The light from the dashboard glows softly, a muted amber that touches the edges of the cabin without ever becoming harsh. You sit back against the cushioned seat, sinking deeper into it. Your body feels heavier in a comforting way, like the highlands themselves are encouraging you to rest. Your eyelids grow just a little heavier, The corners of your mind soften. You are listening, floating, drifting. Outside, the road begins to climb. The van moves upward, gently, carefully, following a winding path carved long ago through the highlands. On one side, a steep hill rises close to the road, covered in patches of heather and moss. On the other side, the land falls away into a valley dotted with tiny pools of rainwater that shimmer like pieces of glass. The mist thickens slightly as the altitude rises. It drifts in slow, smooth waves, brushing against the campervan as if greeting an old friend passing through. You imagine running your fingers through it, feeling nothing but coolness and quiet. Mist has a calming sort of presence. It softens everything it touches. It makes the world quieter, gentler, almost like a dream. As the van climbs higher, you imagine reaching forward to adjust the blanket around your legs. The fabric feels warm and familiar. You can feel its softness against your fingertips. The warmth travels slowly up your arms, into your shoulders, across your chest. It settles you, anchors you, comforts you. The rain makes a delicate pattern on the glass, now tapping lightly, then pausing, then tapping again. It is almost like a thoughtful conversation between the sky and the earth. You let the rhythm guide your breathing. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Let everything be easy. A faint scent of pine begins to drift through the cracks around the door. The highlands are full of ancient forests, and even when you can't see them clearly through the mist, they send their aroma into the air like a soft reminder of their presence. The smell is crisp and cool, mixed with the earthy scent of wet soil. If you were to open the window just a little, the breeze would carry even more of that natural freshness inside. For now, you simply imagine it: the forest, the rain, the mist, the rhythm of the tires rolling forward over wet pavement, the sound of gravel here and there, crackling softly beneath the weight of the campervan's wheels. Every sound is gentle. Nothing startles, nothing demands. You imagine a small mug of warm tea cradled between your hands. In your mind, you can feel the smooth ceramic against your palms. You can feel the gentle heat radiating outward. You lift the mug slowly, taking a slow, quiet sip. The warmth flows into you like a calming tide, soothing your throat, relaxing your chest, settling in your stomach like a soft ember. With each sip, the outside world seems to blur a little more into peaceful shapes. The hills become rounder, the sky becomes softer. The road ahead becomes a ribbon of calm twilight, stretching into the distance. You do not need to know where you are going. The destination is not important. The journey itself is the rest. All around you, the highlands breathe. The landscape moves with the rhythm of the wind. Grasses bend gently. Trees sway with patient grace. Even the rain seems to fall in a way that aligns with your heartbeat. It is nature's quiet lullaby, meant to help travelers drift into a state of gentle awareness, half awake and half asleep. As the campervan reaches the top of the hill, the view opens up. You imagine looking out the window and seeing a vast stretch of land fading into the horizon. A few scattered cottages rest at the base of distant slopes, their chimneys releasing thin trails of smoke into the cool evening air. The sight feels ancient, timeless, like stepping into a story set hundreds of years ago. The highlands have a way of making the present moment feel rooted in something old and steady, something unchanging, something that has seen countless rains, countless travelers, countless nights, just like this one. You imagine the gentle sway of the campervan as it begins descending the far side of the hill. The movement is soft, comforting, almost rocking, the kind of motion that invites your eyes to close. You feel the pull of gravity blending with the natural rhythm of the road, downward, slow, peaceful. The rain grows a touch steadier again, not loud but present, a soft curtain of sound. It runs across the roof in tiny streams. It gathers at the edges of the windows. Drops slide down the glass in slow trails, leaving faint streaks that catch the glow of the interior lights. You shift again under your blanket, letting it rise a bit higher, resting it against your stomach and chest. You press into the cushion. Your spine eases. Your shoulders sink. The warmth of the tiny heater wraps your lower legs like a soft embrace. You feel the quiet in your bones. In the side mirror, you can imagine the faint glimmer of the van's taillights reflecting off the wet road, leaving a red shimmer that stretches behind you like a trail of glowing embers. The world behind you fades into mist. The world ahead is a calm ribbon winding through a peaceful night. Everything supports you. Everything nurtures rest. Your breath slows a little more. Your thoughts drift a little further. You feel yourself loosening, softening, settling. The Highlands welcome you deeper still. The campervan continues down the gentle slope, dear listener, moving at an unhurried pace that feels more like gliding than driving. The road curves softly, shaped by centuries of wind and weather, and each bend leads you deeper into a world of stillness. Outside, the drizzle settles into a steady whisper. It wraps the highlands in a thin veil, making every hill and tree appear softened at the edges, as though painted with a brush dipped in clouds. Inside the van, everything remains warm and steady. The heater hums with a low vibration. The lights glow like candles nestled inside a cozy cottage. The gentle sway of the vehicle is almost rhythmic now, rocking you with the same tenderness as a slow-moving train. You feel the motion in your chest, in your shoulders, in the way your eyelids soften each time the van leans slightly to one side. The mist curls around the van as if the landscape is greeting you with open arms. You imagine it brushing gently against the windows, forming little shapes that drift and stretch before dissolving back into a quiet haze. The air inside the camper feels like a calm embrace, as if the walls themselves are padded with softness. Your mind floats across the scenery. You imagine a small loch resting still and dark at the foot of a distant hill. The surface is smooth and reflective, touched only by the tiniest ripples from the rain. The reflection is so clear that the hill above appears doubled, rising upward and downward at once, like a quiet portal into a mirrored world. A pair of ducks glide across the water, leaving trails behind them that fade as quickly as they appear. The van rolls past a patch of tall grass. Through the window, each blade sways in slow motion, heavy with raindrops. The droplets cling to the tips before falling silently into the earth. The air outside is cool and earthy, filled with the scent of moss, soil, and distant pine. You imagine your lungs filling with that freshness, even though you remain warm and sheltered inside. You take another slow breath and release it gently. Just like the mist, just like the rain, the road winds between two ridges. On one side, a steep slope rises up, dotted with clusters of heather. Their deep purple shades seem to glow despite the dim light of evening. On the other side, the land dips into a shallow valley filled with soft, springy moss. You imagine walking through that valley barefoot, feeling the cushion of the earth beneath each step. The thought alone sends a wave of ease through your body. Inside the camper, you slide your fingers slowly along the edge of the blanket. The fabric is warm and familiar. You imagine its fibers catching the light, each one glowing gently like embers in a quiet hearth. You adjust the blanket around your waist, tucking the edges under your arms, creating a cocoon of warmth. With every breath, your muscles grow heavier. Your shoulders drop a little more. Your hands loosen. Your jaw softens. The warmth of the van and the rhythm of the journey lull you deeper into stillness. Soon, the van rounds another curve. This one is wider, steering you toward a grove of ancient pines. Their trunks rise tall and narrow, reaching high into the misty sky. Their branches extend outward like long, protective arms. The rain filters through the needles in a delicate pattern, creating a sound that resembles a soft, steady hiss. It's almost like a long exhale from the forest itself. As the camper passes beneath the canopy, the sound of rain changes again. It becomes quieter, gentler, muted by the layers of green above. The pines create a sheltering roof, turning the entire grove into a quiet chamber, like a natural cathedral carved from living wood. The scent of pine becomes stronger. You imagine it filling the cabin in faint waves, blending with the warmth inside. Your breathing sinks with the hush of the rain, slow, almost sleepy. Each rise and fall of your chest feels softer, like the breath of someone drifting into dreams. If you close your eyes for a moment, you can picture the forest stretching out in every direction. Tall trees, soft ground, the glow of twilight filtering through mist. A peaceful, ancient world that invites you to rest within it. As the camper leaves the grove, the mist begins to thin. Far ahead, the silhouette of a long, narrow mountain range appears. The peaks are softened by clouds, but their shapes rise gently into the sky like shadows of calm giants. You imagine the air here is cooler, thick with history and silence. The highlands hold stories in their stones, stories whispered by winds that have traveled over these hills for centuries. The road descends again, this time toward a small valley where a stream winds its way through tall grasses. The stream glitters faintly, reflecting the faintest bits of light from the cloud-covered sky. The water moves slowly, as though it too feels the quiet of the evening. You imagine rolling down the window, just enough to hear the faint gurgle of the stream as you pass. Even that sound would be gentle, like a soft lullaby played by nature. Inside the van, the warm air touches your skin like a gentle hand. The weight of your body settles deeper into the cushion. Your arms rest at your sides. Your breathing continues its slow, calm rhythm. You are not rushing anywhere. You are not hurrying to any destination. You are simply here, in this moment, held by the road and the rain. The van moves past a small clearing. If you look out the window of your imagination, you might notice an old stone wall, partially collapsed, covered in moss. It looks like it may have been part of a cottage long ago. Perhaps a shepherd lived there once. Perhaps a family gathered around a hearth, telling stories as the wind howled outside. Now the cottage is nothing more than stones and memory, quietly blending into the hills. But it feels peaceful, not abandoned, as though it is resting, too. The headlights illuminate the road ahead in a soft, pale beam. The mist dances in the light, swirling slowly before drifting away into the darkness. The rain continues its gentle tap. The wheels roll steadily, and you remain nestled in warmth. in stillness, in quiet. You take one more deep breath and let it out slowly, like the highlands exhaling with you. The night grows a little darker, the journey grows a little softer, and you drift a little deeper. The campervan continues gently into the deepening evening, dear listener, and the darkness that settles over the highlands is anything but harsh. It is soft and velvety, like a thick wool blanket draped across the sky. The world outside becomes a calm tapestry of shadow and faint glimmers, where shapes blend into one another and everything feels dreamlike. Inside the van, the warm glow of the interior lights creates a small sanctuary. Their amber tone bounces lightly off the wooden cabinets and the smooth countertop. The faint reflections shimmer across the window, mixing with the drifting mist outside. You feel held in a sphere of comfort, a moving cocoon carrying you gently across the quiet landscape. The rain softens again, falling in a fine mist that barely makes a sound. You imagine each tiny droplet landing with a feather-light touch against the roof. Sometimes the rain gathers into little streams that slide down the glass, tracing slow, meandering paths. You watch them with your mind's eye, following their journey until they disappear into the night. As you sink deeper into the cushion, your breathing becomes slower still. The warmth from the blanket against your stomach and chest shifts gently with your breath. The steady hum of the tires against the damp road blends with the quiet patter of the rain. Everything is muted. Everything is slow. The road now travels through a stretch of open moorland. The terrain is wide and gentle, covered in soft grasses and low shrubs. The mist hangs slightly above the ground, swirling like a low, drifting cloud. The headlights illuminated in pale gold, creating wisps of light that move and curl as the van passes through. It feels like driving through a dream, where each moment melts into the next with no sharp edges. In the distance, you can make out the faint silhouette of a small herd of deer. Their shapes are elegant, slender, and calm. They stand perfectly still, their ears turned toward the quiet road. The rain beads on their coats, giving them a faint shimmer under the van's lights. They watch for just a moment, then return to grazing as the campervan rolls on at its gentle pace. Inside, you take another slow breath. You feel the coolness of the evening settle in your imagination, while the real warmth of the van wraps gently around your body. You can almost imagine the faint scent of rain drifting through a cracked window, blending with the soft aroma of the last bit of tea in your mug. Even the air feels sleepy. The van begins to climb again, this time along a narrower road that winds upward between two rocky slopes. The stones on either side glisten with moisture, their surfaces shining like silver scales in the dim light. Ferns grow in the cracks between the rocks, their fronds heavy with rain. Every detail feels washed clean, refreshed by the gentle weather. You imagine reaching out to place your hand against the cool window pane. The glass would feel smooth and slightly damp from the condensation inside. Your skin would sense the faint chill from the outside air, a pleasant contrast to the warmth of the blanket around you. You picture drawing a small circle on the foggy window with your fingertip, watching the moisture gather and drip. The road curves around a tall outcrop, revealing a hidden valley below. Nestled within it is a small highland loch, still and dark like polished stone. The surface barely ripples despite the drizzle. The mountains surrounding it rise in soft, sprawling shapes, their peaks lost in the drifting clouds. You imagine how quiet it must be down there, where the water meets the shore in a gentle lap of tiny waves. Your mind drifts toward that quiet, toward the stillness, toward the deep, peaceful air. The campervan continues along the ridge, giving you a higher view of the valley. You can see tiny streams feeding into the loch, glistening like silver threads in the soft light. The faint, distant sound of water trickling down rock reaches your imagination. It's a soothing sound, steady and predictable, a natural lullaby. Inside the van, you adjust your position slightly, letting your body settle even deeper. The cushion molds to your shape. Your muscles relax without effort. The sense of heaviness in your limbs feels pleasant, comforting, like the final steps before slipping into sleep. You don't have to try, you just allow it. The heater exhales, another wave of warm air. It moves across the space and touches your legs, your hands, your shoulders. The van feels like a tiny, self-contained world drifting through the night. Your presence inside it feels like a quiet secret shared between you and the land outside. The rain increases again, but only a little. It becomes a soft, steady patter that fills the silence with a gentle rhythm. The droplets drum lightly on the roof, creating a sound like thousands of tiny fingertips tapping a lullaby. It is steady, soothing, and endlessly calming. You notice the way each raindrop seems to merge into the next, forming a continuous wash of sound, a soft, silvery blanket of noise that hides every sharp edge. It becomes a backdrop for your breath, a partner to your heartbeat. You sink into it, letting the rain carry your mind where it wants to go. The road finally begins to descend again, this time into a narrow pass between two mountains. The slopes rise steeply on both sides, creating a sheltered corridor where the wind hushes itself. The mist becomes thicker here, folding around the camper like a soft scarf. The headlights shine only a few meters ahead, illuminating drifting swirls of pale mist that look like quiet spirits dancing in the night. You feel no fear in this narrow pass, only calm. Only the gentle, ancient presence of the highlands guides you forward. The land feels protective, wrapped around you the same way your blanket is wrapped around your body. You take another slow breath. Your chest rises, your chest falls, your body softens even more. Somewhere behind you, the kettle clinks faintly again, a soft, familiar sound. The kind of sound that reminds you that you are not alone. You are carried, you are sheltered, you are safe. The van moves at a steady, peaceful pace through the narrow pass. Outside, the rain continues its soft song. Inside, you drift deeper into warmth and ease. The highlands cradle you in their quiet arms. The narrow mountain pass slowly widens, dear listener, opening into a sheltered basin where the landscape feels even quieter than before. The mist begins to lift in slow strands, drifting upward like soft breath rising into the night. The sky above the basin is darker but peaceful, as though the clouds have gathered themselves into a protective canopy. The world feels hushed, still, wrapped in velvety calm. The campervan moves gently forward, its headlights sweeping across the wet road. The reflections shimmer beneath the tires, forming small pools of liquid gold where the light touches. You watch those shapes move and stretch, like ripples reaching outward through the night. Each passing moment feels elongated and slow, like time itself has softened to match your breathing. Inside the van, the warm air continues to cradle you. The soft hum of the heater feels like a quiet embrace around your feet and legs. The faint scent of tea from earlier still lingers in the air, blending with the gentle aroma of the warm interior. You feel cocooned, nestled, protected. As the van enters the basin fully, the rain softens to a fine mist again. It floats rather than falls, drifting across the windshield in tiny specks that shimmer under the glow of the lights. The wipers sweep them away with slow, measured strokes. You imagine the subtle brush of each pass, steady and predictable, like a calm hand smoothing a blanket. The landscape here is open, with rolling ground that dips and rises like the folds of a blanket spread across the earth. Patches of heather stretch across the slopes, their muted purple hues blending with the soft green of the grass. The mist hovers just above the ground, swirling gently as the van passes through. It feels like driving across a dreamscape, where every detail is softened by night's gentle veil. In the distance stands an old stone cairn, stacked tall and sturdy on a small rise. Its silhouette is strong, yet quietly regal, a marker placed long ago by travelers or shepherds. You imagine someone laying each stone by hand, perhaps hundreds of years ago, as a guide to those who would wander through the highlands after them. Now it stands in the rain, unmoved by time, offering a silent greeting to anyone who passes. The campervan travels past it, and you feel a strange but soothing sense of continuity, as if countless lives before you have taken similar journeys, hearing similar rains, breathing similar air. The thought is comforting, a reminder that the world is wide, ancient, and gentle in its own ways. Inside the van, you shift slightly and feel the blanket slide across your chest with a soft rustle. The cushion beneath you gives in all the right places. Your muscles loosen a bit more, melting into the support beneath you. Your mind drifts as easily as the mist outside. Ahead, the road begins curving along the edge of a slow-moving river. The river glistens faintly in the dim light, its surface rippling gently under the touch of raindrops. The sound of the water is so soft that it almost blends with the hum of the engine. You imagine that if you stepped out into the night, you could hear the tiny bubbles forming as the river moved over small stones. The sight of the river calms you even more. Water has a way of soothing the mind, carrying thoughts away with its flow. You picture the river winding through the basin, slipping between rocks and reeds, always moving but never hurrying, just like your thoughts, just like this journey. The van slows slightly as the road narrows along the riverbank. The headlights sweep across the water, lighting up a few momentary sparkles where raindrops catch the glow. The mist hovers just above the surface, creating a pale haze that looks like a quiet breath rising from the earth. Inside, the warmth wraps around you again. You feel your hands resting loosely in your lap. Your fingers are relaxed. Your breathing is slow. The gentle rhythm of the van's motion pulls you deeper into rest. You imagine opening the small window beside you just an inch. A cool breeze would slip inside, brushing across your cheek. It would carry with it the scent of wet earth, damp heather, and fresh flowing water. The air would feel crisp against the warmth of the cabin, creating a perfect balance. You might whisper a small sigh, letting the blend of temperatures lull you even deeper. The van crosses a tiny stone bridge. The sound of the tires gently shifts as they roll across the ancient stones. A faint, hollow echo rises from beneath, blending with the rush of the water below. It is a soothing sound, old and steady, like a voice from the past, humming a low, wordless tune. The headlights illuminate the edges of the bridge, revealing moss and lichen growing thick between the stones. Their texture looks soft and spongy, holding moisture from the rain. The bridge itself seems to glow in the quiet night, its presence timeless and comforting. As the van leaves the bridge, the landscape opens again. The basin stretches into a wider valley, where soft hills rise like gentle waves in a rolling sea. The mist grows thinner here, floating upward in delicate strands. The night air settles in a cool hush across the land. You take another slow breath, and again you feel the weight of relaxation deepen in your body. The campervan moves peacefully along the valley floor. The drizzle continues its soft cadence on the roof. Each drop feels like a lullaby note. Each sound invites your mind to drift. The road is empty. The valley is silent. The world feels made just for this moment. Inside, you adjust your shoulders and sink even deeper into the cushion. The blanket hugs your frame. The heater offers another quiet sigh of warmth. You feel your eyes growing heavier, the weight of the day dissolving into the rhythm of the journey. Somewhere beyond the soft darkness, an owl calls. Its voice is low and soothing, echoing gently across the valley. You imagine the owl perched high in a pine, feathers puffed against the drizzle, watching the campervan pass with calm curiosity. Its call fades slowly into the night. The van continues at its easy pace, guiding you deeper into this tranquil world. The landscape, the rain, the warmth, the motion, all of it blends together into a single, seamless comfort. A soft embrace from nature itself. You breathe in, you breathe out, and let yourself drift. The highlands carry you forward. The valley deepens as the campervan follows its gentle curve. Dear listener, and the softness of the night becomes even more tangible. It wraps itself around the vehicle like a warm shawl, though the highland air outside is cool and moist. The contrast makes the inside of the van feel even cozier, even more sheltered. You feel the warmth like a small glowing hearth flickering quietly in the middle of a vast and peaceful wilderness. The rain becomes a faint sprinkle, lightly tapping at intervals against the window. Each patter is spaced just enough to feel intentional, like tiny knocks from the sky, reminding you that the world outside is alive but never hurried. The sound blends with the hum of the engine and the rhythmic movement of the tires on the damp road, creating a chorus of calm that wraps itself around your awareness. Ahead, the headlights sweep across patches of bracken and long grass that line the roadside. The blades bend under the raindrops, then spring back gently, looking soft and supple in the glow. Small puddles reflect the light as the van passes, shimmering like brief mirrors that appear and disappear in an instant. You watch them in your mind, these tiny pools catching the glow before slipping back into darkness. Like fireflies blinking in a quiet field, you imagine reaching down and brushing your fingertips across the blanket again, feeling its texture beneath your hand. The fibers are warm under your touch, the fabric heavy in a soothing way. You gather it closer, tucking it under your arms. Your body sinks deeper into the cushion as though gravity itself has softened, letting you drift downward without effort. Above the valley, the clouds begin to separate. They part in slow, gentle motions, revealing faint hints of the night sky. The stars are blurred behind the lingering mist, glowing lightly like distant lamps behind frosted glass. Their pale brilliance is soothing, subtle, unobtrusive. You imagine tilting your head upward to look at them, feeling the calm in your chest deepen as the first faint glimmers reach your eyes. The campervan moves forward, and the road levels out into a stretch of smooth, open pavement. The van hums steadily along it, almost gliding. The motion is soft and predictable, rocking you with a gentle sway each time the vehicle adjusts to a curve or a slight incline. You feel the movement in your core, slow and even, like being cradled in a careful embrace. Outside the window, the river continues to run beside the road. Its surface is darker now, reflecting hints of the sky's faint glow. The rain makes small rings in the water, spreading out in delicate patterns. You imagine the sound of those rings forming a soft plink that merges into the whisper of the moving current. As the van rolls on, the valley narrows again. The land rises on either side, forming a natural corridor lined with brush and clusters of sturdy shrubs. Their leaves shimmer with moisture, each one holding a tiny reservoir of rain. The headlights catch them at different angles, making them sparkle like small jewels scattered through the night. Your breathing is steady now, matching the rhythm of the road without conscious effort. Each inhale is slow and full. Each exhale feels like releasing the weight of another long-held thought. Your body sinks deeper. Your limbs feel heavier. Your mind loosens its grip on the day. The van passes a small wooden sign. Its paint is faded, and the words are softened by years of wind and weather. You imagine what it once said, maybe the name of a village or a direction for travelers who passed this way long before you. Now it stands quietly in the rain, a gentle relic of simpler times. Beyond the sign, the valley widens just a little, revealing an old stone fence stretching across the hillside. The stones are stacked without mortar, held up only by balance, skill, and time. Moss covers the edges, crawling up the sides in soft green patches. The fence looks like a line drawn gently across the land, blending with the terrain instead of dividing it. You imagine the hands that placed those stones long ago, working with careful patience in the cool highland air. Inside the camper, the warmth continues to press gently against your skin. The heater releases another soft sigh of warm air that drifts across your knees and ankles. The cushion beneath you feels softer, more welcoming, as though the van itself knows you are relaxing and is cradling you even more securely. The rain shifts again into a steadier pattern. It falls in soft curtains, creating a peaceful wash of sound that fills the quiet space inside. You listen to it the way you might listen to the gentle breathing of someone sleeping nearby. It is steady, comforting, constant, a sound that anchors you in the present moment while allowing your mind to drift wherever it wishes. Ahead, the road curves toward a small stand of birch trees. Their white trunks glow faintly in the headlights, standing tall and serene in the darkness. Their leaves tremble lightly in the breeze, scattering droplets that fall with gentle taps onto the ground below. The birches look delicate but strong, their branches swaying with the grace of dancers moving slowly to a quiet melody. You imagine the rustle of their leaves as the van approaches, a soft shiver of sound that blends with the rain. The forest floor beneath them is blanketed with damp moss and fallen leaves, forming a silent cushion that mutes every drop of water. You picture walking through that forest barefoot, feeling the cool, springy ground beneath your feet, the air around you scented with earth and rain. The van passes between the birches, and for a few moments, everything feels enclosed and sheltered again. The trees stand close together, forming a natural archway The headlights illuminate the pale bark, the leaves, the patterns of faint shadows dancing across the ground. It feels like a gateway, like passing from one quiet dream into another. Inside, your breathing remains slow and steady. The blanket holds your warmth. Your shoulders relax further. Your eyelids feel heavy, like soft curtains drifting lower with each breath. The story continues, but you feel your awareness dipping, rising, drifting like mist in the dark. The van emerges from the birch grove, and the valley widens once more. The road straightens, stretching ahead into the gentle night. The mist thins even more, and the clouds above reveal patches of sky where faint stars shimmer like scattered seeds of light. The highlands breathe around you. The rain sings its gentle song, and you drift deeper into calm. The campervan moves steadily across the widening valley, dear listener, as though it has slipped into a natural rhythm with the land. The rain continues its quiet descent, but now it falls in a softer, more delicate pattern, like a lace curtain gently shaking in a breeze. Every droplet that touches the roof creates a tiny ping, a soft percussion that blends seamlessly into the night's hush. Inside, the air remains warm and tranquil. You shift the blanket a little higher, allowing it to rest against your collarbone. Its weight feels gentle and comforting, like a familiar embrace. The cushion beneath you molds itself to your shape with effortless grace. You feel your spine settle, your shoulders drop, your breath deepen. The headlights illuminate a small cluster of gorse bushes on the side of the road. Their golden blossoms are muted by the rain, but they still glow faintly, tiny lanterns tucked among the dark green leaves. The water gathers on the petals, making them glisten before falling silently to the ground. As the van passes, the blossoms fade once more into the darkness. Beyond the gorse, the land opens again into soft, rolling moorland. The grasses ripple in waves beneath the mist, moving like the surface of a slow and gentle sea. The world feels wide and unhurried. You imagine stepping out into that landscape, feeling the cool mist brush against your face, hearing nothing but the soft whisper of wind moving across the open land. Your breathing stays steady. Your chest rises slowly, falls slowly. Each inhale draws in ease. Each exhale releases the last bits of tension. The campervan rounds another curve, and a small cluster of lights appears in the distance. They twinkle faintly, like tiny stars that have settled close to the earth. Perhaps they belong to a cottage, or a small inn tucked away in the valley. The glow is warm, inviting, and restful. Just the sight of it brings another layer of calm to your mind. As the van approaches, the lights come into clearer view. They seem to shimmer through the mist in a soft halo. You imagine the quiet life unfolding inside that cottage. A gentle, crackling fire, a pot of soup warming on the hearth, a chair turned toward a window, someone sitting with a book in their hands, listening to the same rain that surrounds you now. A life at ease, a moment of peace. But the van does not stop. It glides past the faint lights, continuing along the winding ribbon of road. You feel no longing to linger. The simple act of seeing the cottage brings comfort. It is like a passing promise of warmth shared between travelers, even if you never step inside. Inside the van, the glow of the dashboard lights reflects softly on the lower edge of the windshield. The faint amber illumination feels cozy, like candlelight during a quiet evening indoors. You let the glow settle into your awareness, part of the comfortable haze that surrounds you. The rain picks up again, creating tiny rivers of droplets that run diagonally across the glass. The wipers sweep them away with smooth, measured motions. The sound is steady, repetitive, soothing. You feel your thoughts melting into that rhythm. No need to hold on to anything. No need to analyze or remember. The road carries you. The rain holds you. Ahead, the valley narrows as the land rises gently on both sides. The van enters a new stretch of landscape where low stone walls run alongside the road. The walls are rugged but balanced, built from stones collected from the surrounding fields. Wet moss clings to their surfaces. Water gathers in the crevices, forming tiny rivulets that run downward toward the earth. The walls feel ancient, steady, reliable. Their presence brings a grounded sense of calm. Your eyelids feel heavier. The space between breaths grows longer. You feel your body warming from the inside out. The van travels past a small wooden gate set into one of the stone walls. It has no sign, no marking, just a quiet entrance to a field stretching into the mist. You imagine sheep resting there, huddled together in the soft grass, their wool dampened by the drizzle. You picture them breathing slowly, their calm presence, another part of the Highland night. Inside the camper, you shift ever so slightly, allowing your body to settle into a new position. The blanket moves with you, its weight settling back into place over your stomach and legs. Your breathing deepens again as you relax into the warmth that surrounds you. The mist thickens a little as the road begins to climb. It swirls around the headlights in pale streams, gently breaking apart as the van pushes forward. The world outside loses some of its detail, becoming a soft blur of shapes and shadow. You feel the sense of enclosure again, like the highlands are drawing closer around you, offering shelter. Rain droplets whisper on the roof. Your breath whispers in your chest. Everything is quiet and slow. As the road climbs higher, the air in your imagination grows cooler, crisper. The scent of pine returns, drifting faintly through the cracks around the window. You picture a dense forest perched on the hills above, the needles soaked with rain, the trunks dark and smooth under the night sky. The forest stands watchful but gentle, a companion to travelers who pass below. You imagine pulling the blanket up to your chin for extra warmth. The feeling is instantly comforting. You nestle deeper into the cushion, letting your head tilt slightly as your body continues to relax. Ahead, a wooden sign comes into view. This one is clearer, the paint brighter, though softened by the weather. It reads, "Scenic Viewpoint, 15 miles." The letters glow faintly in the headlights, then fade back into the mist as the van passes. The thought of a viewpoint brings a quiet anticipation, the kind that feels peaceful rather than urgent. You imagine looking out over the highlands from a high hill, seeing the vastness of the land spread out beneath you, rolling hills, distant peaks, lochs that shine like mirrors under the morning sun. But for now, the night keeps everything close, wrapped in its cool embrace. Inside the van, your breathing slows again. Your muscles soften. Your mind drifts. The journey continues. The rain continues. The calm deepens. The campervan continues its gentle ascent along the curving road, dear listener, and the highlands feel as though they are lifting you with them, carrying you softly into the higher quiet of the night. The mist moves like drifting silk, brushing past the windows in smooth waves. Every swirl catches the headlights for just a moment before dissolving into the darkness, leaving behind only a faint glow where the droplets once hovered. Inside the van, the air feels steady and peaceful. You can sense the familiar warmth radiating from the small heater. It spreads slowly across your legs, up toward your chest, settling round your shoulders like a soft shawl. The warmth is balanced by the cooler sensation you imagine just beyond the window. A world of crisp, damp air only inches away, separated from you by a thin pane of glass, reminding you how safe and cozy your little traveling space truly is. Your breathing syncs with the gentle hum of the engine. Each inhale is smooth, each exhale is long. Your body sinks deeper into the cushion, settling so naturally that you barely notice the shift. Everything in you is leaning toward rest, softened by the slow rhythm of the road. Outside, the landscape rises into hills, dotted with clusters of dark rocks. Rainwater streams down the slopes in thin ribbons, glistening under the faint, ambient light of the misty sky. Some of the rocks are covered in thick moss, their surfaces soft and velvety. Others are bare and wet, catching the light like polished stone. The entire hillside seems to shimmer gently under the touch of the rain. As the van curves around another bend, a small Highland cottage appears in the shadow of the hill. Only a single warm light glows from its window. The roof is dark and damp, the walls built from sturdy stone shaped by centuries of weather. Smoke curls from the chimney, faint and steady. You imagine the warmth inside, perhaps a peat fire burning low in the hearth, its crackles softened by distance and time. You picture a wooden table with a linen cloth, a kettle steaming gently, a pair of boots by the door drying from the day's walk through the rain. The van passes by, and the cottage grows smaller in the rearview mirror. It becomes a tiny point of warmth in the sea of mist and shadow. You feel comforted just having glimpsed it, even for a moment. Inside the camper, you adjust your position once more, letting your body settle into an even deeper state of comfort. The movement is slow and natural. The blanket drapes perfectly, holding the warmth close. A soft, almost imperceptible creak from the interior accompanies the shift, like the van is responding to you, acknowledging your presence with a gentle sigh. Ahead, the road flattens again, stretching across a ridge that rises slightly above the valley floor. From this height, you imagine the faint glow of distant villages tucked into the hills, each one sending its tiny glimmers into the night. Lights that drift through the mist like stars fallen gently to earth. The rain changes its rhythm once more, becoming a steady patter against the windshield. Not loud, not fast, just consistent, peaceful, soothing. The wipers brush the droplets away with slow, deliberate movements. You might imagine the soft sound they make, a gentle swoosh that blends with the patter of rain until neither stands apart. Your breathing deepens again. Every exhale feels looser. Every inhale feels quieter. The van enters a section of road lined by tall grasses. They sway in the wind, bending and rising with graceful patience. The mist wraps itself around each blade, turning the grasses into long strands of silver gray. As the headlights pass, the moisture on them glitters faintly. Then the mist swallows them once more. You imagine opening the window just a crack and letting the crisp Highland air drift inside. It would carry with it the scent of rain-soaked grass, cool stone, and distant pine forests. The air would feel refreshing against your skin, mixing beautifully with the cozy warmth you are wrapped in now. Even the thought of that contrast brings a deeper sense of ease. The van soon approaches a small incline, and at its crest stands a lone tree, a tall, ancient Scots pine with a trunk twisted gently by time and weather. Its branches stretch outward like long, open arms. The rain clings to its needles, gathering into droplets that fall silently to the ground. You imagine the tree standing guard over this quiet road, watching countless nights like this one unfold across the Highlands. Passing the tree feels like moving by a sentinel of calm, a presence rooted deeply in the earth, unmoving and peaceful. The van glides past, and the tree fades back into the mist. Inside, the van creaks faintly as the road shifts beneath it. You feel the subtle movement like a soft rocking, the kind of gentle sway that could lull even the most restless mind toward sleep. Your limbs grow heavier, the space behind your eyelids dimmer, your thoughts quieter. Ahead, a small wooden sign appears, pointing toward a lakeside picnic area several miles ahead. Though you won't stop tonight, the simple mention of a lakeside stirs a soft image in your imagination. A calm loch resting under the moonlight, a wooden bench placed near the shore, the sound of water lapping slowly against stone. The cool air carries the scent of fresh water and pine. The van continues onward. The journey is slow and soothing. The night is calm and wide. The valley floor gradually transitions into low hills once again, their shapes softened by the mist. Rainwater trickles in tiny threads down their sides, glistening like quiet streams. Some flow into shallow pools that gather near the roadside, their surfaces smooth as glass. The headlights skim across them, turning them momentarily bright before they fade once more into shadow. You take another deep breath. Your ribcage rises, your ribcage falls. Every part of you feels heavier and softer, like the night itself is holding you gently. The van hums along the road, never rushing. The rain continues to tap. The mist swirls in slow patterns around you. The warmth from the heater reaches farther up your arms. Your mind drifts deeper into everything soft and peaceful. The highlands breathe, you breathe with them, and the journey continues, gentle and unbroken. The campervan glides further along the winding highland road, dear listener, and the night feels like it is deepening into an even softer, more velvety blue. The mist clings to the hillsides and drifts across the road in slow ribbons, moving with the ease of something that has no destination at all. Each wisp curls in the light, then dissolves, becoming part of the endless quiet that wraps around your journey. Inside, the warmth remains steady and comforting. The heater hums in its gentle, constant way, sending waves of soft air toward your legs and feet. The blanket embraces you with its familiar weight. You shift just a little, not out of discomfort, but because your muscles are relaxing so deeply that your body naturally settles into an even more restful position. Your breathing remains slow. Your eyelids feel softer. Your awareness drifts like the mist outside. The van follows the curved road along the side of a low ridge. On the left, the land drops slightly into a shallow valley filled with heather. Even in the dimness, you can imagine the purple hues beneath the rain, muted but present. The bristled heads of the heather plants gather droplets of water, each tiny bead shimmering like a miniature crystal before falling silently into the soil below. The rhythmic tapping of rain continues. The droplets patter gently on the roof, each one a small, soothing reminder that the world outside is peaceful, that nature is weaving its calm all around you. The wipers sweep across the windshield again, and the sound blends with the rain like a quiet, repetitive lullaby. To the right, a line of tall, slender trees rises along the hillside. Their trunks are dark and straight. Their branches sway in slow movements, touched by the breeze that rides along the ridge. Rain gathers on the needles and leaves, trickling downward in soft, vertical streams. You imagine the scent that would rise from beneath those trees: damp bark, cool air, fresh pine, and the earthy richness of wet soil. As the road descends gently into another small valley, a narrow stream comes into view, running parallel to the road. Its water is dark and reflective, broken only by the occasional ripple of rain striking the surface. The current flows at an easy pace, turning and twisting through the landscape like a silver ribbon laid across the earth. The headlights catch glimpses of movement on the water, making it sparkle in short, delicate flashes. Inside the cabin, you shift your shoulders just a little more, letting them fall further from your ears. The tension you carried earlier feels distant now, as though it has dissolved into the quiet of the night. The hum of the engine feels softer, blending into the rain until it becomes almost a background purr. Your breath aligns with it again, smooth and low. The stream widens briefly, forming a quiet pool beside the road. Its surface is so still that it looks like a polished stone until the rain interrupts it with soft, expanding circles. You imagine the sound of those droplets hitting the water, their tiny plinks mixing with the stream's gentle flow. Even without hearing it directly, the imagined sound feels calming, like water settling inside your mind. The van continues at the same slow pace, neither rushing nor delaying. Each curve feels natural, like following the contours of a sleeping landscape. The headlight beams reach into the mist, illuminating droplets suspended in the air, turning them into little floating sparks before they disappear into the night. Your awareness drifts, your body softens, your thoughts become quieter. As the road rises slightly, a wooden footbridge appears on the left, stretching over the stream. It looks old but sturdy, with its planks darkened by years of rain and weather. Moss grows between the boards, giving it a gentle green texture. You imagine walking across that bridge, feeling the wood flex ever so slightly beneath your steps, hearing the faint creak of the boards as you move. The idea adds another layer of calm to your drifting thoughts. On the other side of the bridge, a small stone marker stands near the road. Its carved letters are softened by time, too faded to read from here. You imagine it marking an ancient path or a forgotten village road, something touched by countless travelers long before this night. Its quiet presence feels respectful, like a whisper from the past carried gently into the present. Inside the van, the warmth touches your knees and your hands. The blanket shifts as your breathing moves beneath it, rising and falling in an easy rhythm. Your fingers relax, your jaw loosens, your entire body moves towards stillness without effort. You can feel the weight of your limbs settling deeper into the cushion, as though the seat beneath you has softened to match your calm. The road begins to straighten. The mist thickens once again. The headlights create a soft tunnel of visibility through the pale gray haze. The edges blur, making the world appear dreamlike. You feel as though you are gliding through a cloud, suspended close to the earth. The ground is invisible. The sky is invisible. Only the gentle glow ahead remains. The rain shifts again, turning into a fine whisper of drizzle. It is so soft that it barely makes a sound, just a faint, delicate rustling on the glass. The wipers pause for a moment, then sweep once more with a slow motion before resting again. The silence between the swipes feels even more soothing than the sound itself. Your chest feels warm, your head feels light, your mind feels spacious. Ahead, a road sign emerges through the mist, Glen Torrin. The letters appear briefly before passing out of view. You don't need to know exactly where it leads. The name alone adds quietly to the atmosphere, like a piece of poetry spoken into the rain. Glen Torrin, a place tucked somewhere in the folds of the Highlands, resting quietly under the same night sky. The van begins another gentle descent. The slope is soft, almost unnoticeable, but you feel the subtle shift as your body leans with the motion. It is the kind of movement that could lull you deeper into rest, rocking you slowly, carefully, like a cradle carried by the night. The mist begins to lighten as the road levels out. Far ahead, the faintest glow from the sky filters through the clouds. It is not dawn, just a break in the thick cover above, allowing a softer, grayer light to seep down. It reflects off the wet road, creating a gentle shine that guides the van forward. Your breathing sinks into that softness. Your thoughts drift like boat lanterns, floating on still water. Your body drapes itself in calm. The journey continues. The rain continues. And the Highlands cradle you in their quiet embrace. The campervan glides along the straightened road, dear listener, and the world outside feels suspended in a soft, silver-gray hush. The mist hovers just above the road, curling in slow, delicate spirals that catch the faint glow of the headlights. Each movement seems deliberate and gentle, as if the Highlands themselves are breathing alongside you, keeping pace with your calm. Inside, the warmth is constant, spreading softly through your chest, down your arms, and into your legs. The blanket rests perfectly over you, holding your body in a gentle embrace. Your shoulders feel heavier, your eyelids softer, your limbs melting further into the cushion beneath you. Every inch of you is being invited to rest, to simply exist in this safe, slow moment. The road curves gently again, and the van passes a cluster of low, rounded hills dotted with small boulders. The rain slicks the stones, and they gleam faintly under the diffused light of the misty sky. You imagine their smooth, wet surfaces, each stone holding the memory of countless rains before this one. The scene feels calm, ancient, and unhurried, as though time itself is lingering with you. Alongside the road, small patches of wildflowers cling stubbornly to the slopes, their colors muted by the wet and mist. White blooms nod gently in the breeze, while tiny yellow flowers peek out from beneath the grass. The headlights sweep across them, making them glow faintly. Then they fade again into the soft shadow of the night. You imagine the rain resting on their petals, each droplet a tiny crystal reflecting the quiet world around it. The van hums steadily along the road. The sound is low and consistent, almost like a lullaby in mechanical form. It blends with the soft patter of rain on the roof, creating a layered rhythm that feels comforting and predictable. You feel your thoughts dissolving into this soundscape, carried along by its gentle, repetitive motion. Up ahead, the valley begins to narrow again, forming a natural corridor of hills that rise on either side. The mist curls upward from the ground, moving in slow, lazy waves. The headlights carve soft, warm paths through it, illuminating faint streaks of moisture that float in the air. You imagine these streams as tiny ribbons of silver, dancing lightly before dissolving into the night. Inside, your body shifts subtly, sinking even further into the cushion. The blanket is heavy in the right way, comforting without restriction. The warmth from the heater wraps around your shoulders and chest like a soft sigh, melting away any lingering tension. Your fingers relax, your jaw softens, your legs feel weightless in the cocoon of comfort. A small wooden fence appears alongside the road, weathered and moss-covered, the stones holding it in place, looking almost like they were laid centuries ago. You imagine the hands that built it, patient and steady, shaping the land with care. The fence seems to mark a boundary, not of restriction, but of gentle guidance, soft suggestion that the land flows here, and the road flows here, and there is no need to hurry. The van rolls past the fence, and the valley opens slightly, revealing a glimmering body of water ahead. A loch, quiet and still under the night sky, reflecting faint strands of light through the mist. The surface is calm, broken only by occasional raindrops that create ripples spreading outward in soft, circular patterns. You picture standing at its edge, feeling the cool mist on your face, listening to the tiny echoes of water gently moving against stone. The road curves along the edge of the loch. The van hums softly, tires making gentle contact with the wet asphalt. You feel the motion as a soft sway, comforting in its predictability. Each curve seems to match the rise and fall of your breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The motion carries you gently, almost like being rocked in a cradle. Beyond the loch, the road begins to climb again, winding gradually up a gentle hill. The mist thickens, swirling around the van in delicate, floating sheets. Your mind drifts along with it, thoughts becoming lighter, quieter, less insistent. The world outside feels soft, as if painted in watercolors, edges blurred and calming. The rain softens once more, each drop forming a delicate patter rather than a steady rhythm. The windshield wipers sweep slowly, leaving brief, clear passages to peer through into the night. Each sweep is predictable, a comforting, measured motion. You imagine it like the gentle brushing of a hand across a soft fabric, smoothing away tension with each pass. A lone tree appears on the horizon, silhouetted against the faint gray of the mist. Its branches are wide and reaching, a silent sentinel standing over the quiet land. You imagine the tree's strength, its age, the gentle sway of its branches in the breeze. The presence is reassuring, like an old friend watching over the journey, keeping you safe. Inside, your eyelids grow heavier. Your arms feel like they are floating. Your body has fully melted into the cushions beneath you. The blanket has draped perfectly across your torso and legs, holding warmth and comfort in just the right measure. Each breath is deep, soft, and rhythmic, falling into the natural cadence of the journey. The van descends gently again, winding along the low hills of the valley. The loch continues to glimmer faintly on your right, each ripple reflecting fragments of the sky through the mist. You imagine dipping a hand into the cool water, feeling its silky softness as the ripples move around your fingers. Even in imagination, the sensation soothes and relaxes, washing away any lingering tension. The road straightens once more, and the valley widens slightly. The mist begins to lift just a little, allowing a faint, pale light to filter through from above. Not dawn yet, just the gentlest hint of day waiting somewhere beyond the hills. The soft illumination catches the wet grasses and stones, giving them a delicate glow, like a world seen through frosted glass. The van moves at a steady pace, neither fast nor slow, just the perfect rhythm to carry you further into relaxation. The rain continues, soft and steady, a gentle percussion on the roof and windows. The world outside is calm. The world inside is calm. And you, dear listener, are wrapped in that shared calm, drifting deeper into a sense of quiet peace. Your thoughts slow further, like leaves settling on the surface of a still pond. Your body melts deeper into the warmth. Your eyelids feel heavier. Your mind floats gently along with the rhythm of the van, the mist, the loch, and the soft, persistent touch of rain. Each moment feels infinite, gentle, and restful.